So yeah, let's take a look at it. The interesting thing with this is that it's not a crypto scam, so this is like a little bit different from the content he usually puts out. So I wanted to check this new video out he put out today, the exposing gets dangerous part. So this is probably one of the bigger scams that he's ever undone. So let's take a look at it. Right.
Today we're uncovering a $500 million
Turn that
Ponzi
down.
scheme called Trader's Domain. In part one, we exposed a web of scammers. We found an ongoing government investigation. But as I spoke to victims, I realized there was someone behind the curtains controlling it all.
And that's when I find out there's this one guy named Ted who's making all the trades and he's running this Ponzi scheme.
That Ted Safranco guy, what we found out in the last video is that he is kind of the bad guy, the mastermind of this whole, kind of Ponzi scheme.
Savant that is the man behind Trader's Domain.
Yeah.
And so this is the first time I ever hear the name Ted Safranco. And I'm like, who the freak is Ted?
$500 million. Jeez.
Who's Ted?
That is the multi-million-dollar question. And I decided the best place to look for answers was starting with the victims. Welcome to part two.
My understanding of who Ted Safranco was at the time I invested was an experienced trader.
He's a master trader with relationships like this all over the world, and he was internationally known and respected.
Very credible Wall Street trader. I know that's bad to, judge a book off the cover, but
I think that's what scammed so many people is that it was a bunch of friends that really thought or a bunch of influencers that kind of pushed this guy's investment company, and it spiraled out of control because people believed the false claims that were being put out by this guy here. So I mean, that's just more reason do your research for sure.
Normal guy, like a Wall Street trader, he didn't seem like the type of guy that would mess you over.
But looking into his real past,
this is why influencers, shilling things and going out on posts can be toxic because it depends on who the influencer is and how much research they do into it.
We know this because of a testimonial he filmed.
Hi everyone, my name is Ted. I've been working around right now with Nino for probably about 6 months. Really what I did is, for 2016, what I tried to do is I really wanted to set myself up nice. Being a little bit older, I've been working for many years now, almost 15 years. I wanted to have a lifestyle change. I wanted to get into something different to give myself a better opportunity in life. And literally, I went through social media. I found Nino on Instagram. I sort of laughed, actually, because I saw him with his Lambo and all his fun stuff. And me being as old as I am now,
he saw the Lambo and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that too." Then,
36 years old. I couldn't really fathom how somebody was doing what they were doing at such a young age.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll tell you, obviously, and he's going to say this probably, scamming people out of their money. That's the
question
hack.
Is that Nino was scamming people with get-rich-quick courses, and Ted
it's
soon
always
figured
a
this out.
get-rich-quick
He started
course,
his
man.
own grift called the Forex Family Course, which eventually led to the launch of his very own Forex
Learn how to get
brokerage
400% returns in 10 days.
Ted said that it would be non-manipulated as opposed to most of the scammy brokerages of the time. And with his business partner, David Negus, they opened their doors in 2018. I found this out because I talked to the roommate at the time who witnessed everything.
So my name's Jonathan Semeta. I was roommates with David Negus at the start of 2018, pretty much for the whole duration of the year. And I witnessed the inception of Trader's Domain from the beginning. It was basically run.
I mean, look at that website. If that was the actual website, it's like they put like the space theme template on. I mean, how cringe.
The spare bedroom of our house.
That's right. We have an eyewitness.
Imagine giving this company $1 million.
What he told me is that Trader's Domain was originally selling themselves as one of the good guys.
Forex has a lot of shysterness in the industry. I'm sure a lot of people are aware of that. And there's a lot of brokers that have bad reputation.
Forex is literally Shysterville, okay? you put money in and they move it until you forget about it.
And
then they
with doing
pocket
shady
it.
dealings. Ted and Dave started this operation under the premise of the good guy and honesty and
everybody's
being
always
for the
the
little
good guy
sort of thing, someone you could trust,
Here's
which
the
everybody
thing.
bought.
The little guy, here's the thing. People want to believe that they're special. And when somebody tells you you're special, good boy, and pats you on the head and says, we're gonna make you a millionaire like you deserve, that's what people want to hear. And that's almost all it takes to con a lot of these people, is just being told that they're a good boy, right? And then they'll just mindlessly
Ted did have a
good
reputation in the community.
The way they did this was they described themselves as an A-book brokerage, which I didn't really understand at the time, but basically means they were one of the legitimate ones.
Can you just explain really briefly what the difference between A-book and B-book are?
So A-book, your orders are direct to the market, and B-book, basically the broker takes the opposite side of your trade. So when you lose money, they win, because most traders lose. So a lot of brokerages go B-book because they make money off the trader. Your orders aren't actually going to the market. It's just the broker basically shamming you.
Okay,
that's kind of a weird description between the A broker and B broker. I believe that's probably something that they just told that guy. Obviously I'm sure there's much more to that. Because the B broker is in-house. It's in-house trading, so it's almost like gambling, right? You basically have a jackpot. People are betting on you to lose, which is usually the house, and then the A broker actually is going into the stock market. So, I mean, if you think about it, stocks are like educated gambling anyways. So one's just a quicker exchange of funds.
Summarize what he said real quick because it's important. Forex brokers, which are A-book, it just means that your trades are real. B-booking is when the trades are kept in-house.
Yeah.
And things can be faked. They can be messed.
They can be faked. You have to find a reputable B broker type dealer. Otherwise, you can be open to scamming a lot easier because your funds are not going directly into an SEC secured trading fund.
With. And this is why Ted said that his brokerage was A-book. He couldn't.
The benefits of a B-book, obviously, is money can move a lot faster as well. So if you got a good B broker that is honest, then you're going to run into a possible improved trading experience.
Scam you, and he claimed this repeatedly. But the question is that true? With stories of changing trades, I wasn't so sure.
And then all of a sudden, everything magically got erased. And they said, oh, the server's refreshed. We had to refresh the servers.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Like that somehow changed all the trades, right?
Bro, that's the IT equivalent of saying, have you tried turning it off and on again? That is some crazy shit to be telling people investing millions of dollars. Like, I feel like if you're going to lie to people, at least make a better lie.
Not only were the stories shady, when I asked the roommate about it, he told me about a very strange conversation he overheard.
I was in my room one day, and I overheard a conversation, and I thought I caught something about B-booking, switching people from A-book to B-book, and so I asked Dave about it. And
okay, so they switched people from A-book to B-book, as we discussed. B-book is a much easier way to scam, much easier way to move money. Obviously, they're not honest, so their intent is to scam. It's very clear, but it can be muddied with a lot of, different contracting, so you can almost like avoid getting caught. That's crazy that they did that. They basically said to all the investors, fuck them, fuck them.
Said to me, he's like, yeah. He's like, if people are going to be losing, we might as well B-book them because we're just leaving money on the table. was kind of a shock to me because
yeah. So basically, he's saying like, hey, like our trades aren't working out. Fuck them. So we might as well be the house and be like, hey, you're losing. Sorry, buddy.
Everything that they had sort of built this platform on. So I just didn't really know how to take that, but I just took it for what it was.
You take it in
if
the ass.
This is true, this means
That's
their
what
whole
happened.
story is fake. But of course, claiming this is a pretty huge accusation, and I didn't want to do it on the word of just one person.
Yeah.
Because it would mean that everything was built
That's what I
on
respect
lies
about
fraud. So
CoffeeZilla is that he really tries to get solidified proof before really going in on these people. I'm sure he has a bunch of other things in the stream of things he's working on before he can release it until he gets proof.
I wanted more proof. So to do this, I set up a Discord channel to investigate Trader's
The
Domain.
Coffee
Invited
Discord
all the
classic,
victims to
baby.
come share with me what they had found. And soon, many of them started sharing evidence, including a document which they said would prove that they were bee-booking. These people showed me an invoice from a platform called B2Broker, addressed...
You have to know what you're signing up for, too. They had to have sent some kind of form to these people letting them know that they are switching to a B-book type service instead of the A-book. There has to have been something sent to these investors. If they did, I mean, I could believe they didn't, too. I mean, that's definitely true. But if there had to have been, right? I mean...
As to Trader's Domain FX, which had a very important line item. Quote, minimum monthly payment for the use of B-book service.
Yeah.
Why would Trader's Domain need to pay for a B-book service?
Yeah, so there's basically services out there that'll just basically they in exchange for money they will help you run a B-book service. So that can obviously be used in negative and positive ways. These companies have, hundreds of customers, thousands of customers, so they can't monitor the legitness of every single one of them. I do think they do need to do better in vetting their sources. I think there should be more strict guidelines upon who they accept in, but that's just my opinion.
If they were A-book. Now, of course, we also need to talk about who is B2Broker. They call themselves a white label solution for brokerages and exchanges, which simply means they sell a brokerage product that you can slap your name on. And it appears that this is exactly what Ted Safranco did, which means that the back end of Trader's Domain and what Ted is even selling is just a rebranded product. So we'll put B2Broker on the board over here because they're going to be key to understanding this whole scam. Because as I found more of these invoices,
so
I realized
they're using this B2Broker place to kind of launder money, right?
B2Broker may have helped facilitate this whole thing. All apparently for the...
Did they knowingly facilitate it, though? I think that's what's important here in regards to the... were they being taken advantage of? Or, I'm not saying it's good either way because they didn't vet their source properly, but did they know? Right.
The low price of $1,000 a month for this fee. Now, what these several invoices do is not only corroborate the story the roommate was telling us about B-booking, it means that the trades and the crazy returns are all likely fake. It was all a fraud based on a software Ted himself never even built. And of course, now the question is, okay, if the trades are fake, where did the money go? Because
Switzerland. It went to Switzerland into a coffer deep underground, guarded by 1,000 people. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
The investment
but definitely offshore
was very much real, even if the trades were fake.
Yes.
We know for a fact
people were
that
giving
over $100 million was invested based on the CFTC's estimate. But based on what I have, I think it's significantly more. Either way, we're talking about an extremely large amount of cash. So it had to go somewhere. I mean, we know from our first episode that a lot of it went to this company called CCAP Holdings, but what happened after that? As I began to ask...
So this money's basically moving in so many directions. That's what that they're washing this money basically of any traceable pathways.
Myself this question. I was contacted by an anonymous source who found out that I was investigating.
We got QAnon on the freaking
and they
post.
told me they had a friend who might know
I got a
something
buddy.
more.
I know a
something
guy.
that could, quote, show B-book activities, money laundering, and fake invoices. They asked if I was interested. Of course I was. And when this friend got in touch, they claimed to have literally 2,000 plus files and documents on Trader's domain. I was a little skeptical at first, but when the files showed up, even I was surprised.
Really? Someone's there to assassinate CoffeeZilla.
It took me weeks to go through all the documents. But
do you think there's actually
eventually,
papers in that, or is it just for
pattern
production?
started to emerge.
Because didn't he say it was the electronic files? Well, whatever. Oh my gosh. I love when those computers have that like Matrix look to it, like
the more I realized
hacking into the mainframe.
it was all connected.
It all leads to crypto as usual.
All right, I think I get it. I think I understand how Trader's Domain took in money. If you look at our old understanding of the company, we had the basics, but we're missing several things.
Well, yeah,
okay?
they so from the first video, they knew people were putting money in, and they were getting all these like sus responses. As he digs deeper into it, obviously this money's being, I mean, they want to keep the money. It's $500 million fucking dollars, right? Like, you want that bills. So just you know, seeing what they did with it, that's the interesting part.
It starts with the sponsors. They were micro celebrities or influential people who were paid very well
I fucking hate
to bring in
influencers. I'm just like, I really
money.
do.
And the more you brought in, the more you were.
If I were to ever do something like this, they would have to show me exactly the process. Like, I would not feel comfortable telling my fan base or people, like, that's so disrespectful to your fans. I feel like to just be like, hey, buy this shit. I don't give a fuck about you. All I care about is my next payday. I feel like you should just have to vet this stuff. I don't know. You know, maybe, you know, I can't say for sure, you know, what goes through these people's minds, but I mean, just common sense would tell you, I feel like that's such a disservice to the fans, right?
Were paid, which was actually explained to me by a sponsor who had $10 million underneath him. So you've got $10 million under you that's locked up. How many does the guy above you have?
He won't even tell me, but millions. He was getting like probably $500,000 a month just in payouts. Like I was doing well out there. I was getting paid like $20,000-$30,000 a month.
Look at that deep
All right, so
fried
these sponsors
profile
would get
pic.
a cut of the money that they brought in, which meant that they went out and flexed on social media to bring in more clients.
Well,
some
yeah.
bragged about yachts. Some invited people to DM them for.
If you're an accredited investor and got $250K plus, DM me #invest 10% monthly ROI deal, baby. Let's go.
10% monthly ROI deals. Either way, once the victims were on the hook, they would be instructed to go one of two payment routes.
Yeah.
The first option was cash. They would wire money to a U.S.-based bank like CCAP Holdings with a generic memo that said services and definitely not Forex.
Yeah, they always had it labeled
that would
not
trigger red
investment,
flags.
but
and once word went out that the
services.
wire had been sent, before the money even got there, Trader's Domain would immediately credit them on the back end with fake money, which we know from interviews I did.
He would credit my account without ever having any money before I ever gave him money. You know what I mean?
So the numbers
Okay,
were there
so
before you ever
this is
got.
like the equivalent.
Before I ever paid for anything.
This is like the equivalent. To, you know, it's like in your bank account, they're like, "Oh yeah, you got $1 million, sir. I only make my paycheck is only for $1,400 though." Yeah. Okay. And
So that
don't
day,
you want
I
more
get
money?
a Trader's Domain confirmation, and it shows up in my Trader's Domain, $500,000 sitting in my account. The next day, Chase calls me, and they go, "Oh, we just want to verify this is you." And I'm like, "Oh, you haven't released the wire?"
You haven't released the wire? Nobody does that.
Oh my god. So they had accredited your account before the money
Yeah.
had ever hit.
Yeah, before the money had ever hit.
All right, but if the money on Trader's Domain was fake, where did the real money go?
Because that means, yeah, that's exactly what it means, is they just blip the number. And you have those services that like big giant corporations, I don't know, I think like things like Robinhood do this, where they will be like, okay, like, if you're sending in money, we'll give you some like $200 of buying power while your $1,000 is coming through. But $1 million, there's no place on the earth that will do that if it's a legit business. Understand that.
Well, I believe they had a money laundering operation to get the money offshore. This is based on a series of invoices I was given showing money being sent from onshore banks, heads of Franco, David Negus, Tin Tran controlled, like Sag Capital, and then they would send that to offshore companies, shell companies, which were very suspicious. For example, we found invoices sending $100,000 to a company called Safe Seal Technology. Why?
Wow.
And another one, they sent $1 million to Discover Tour Plus.
Discover
Tour. This one in particular had a website, and if you go to discovertourplus.com, they claim to be a travel agency.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's a travel agency. Have you ever spent $1 million on travel? Maybe, let's see, what are they going to say? It's just a setup for like a all-inclusive account. They can do what they want for something bullshit like that.
But
no,
there's nothing to actually buy.
Okay, so it's a front.
I tried booking my own vacation, which I desperately need at this point because I'm way too deep in this investigation, but none of the links
He's like,
would
hey,
let
let's
me
go
book.
to Lux.
So this website appears to just be a front for funneling millions.
Yeah, they made that website on Wix.com, and they just were like, hey, here's this little phone number down here. If you want to launder a little bit of money or a lot of bit of money, just let us know, baby. We only got a 5% surcharge.
Of dollars offshore. Besides, who even pays $1 million to a travel agency if you're a Forex investment company?
Yeah, that's true. I'm like over here trying to create any kind of possible understanding for this. There is none, I think. I mean, even, the travel accounts, I think they charge like per use, not giant contracting like this. I mean, I guess but why are you using $1 million in travel? That's
especially
so much
does that multiple times.
Travel.
Of course, the alternate explanation is that the reason you might send money from a shell company in the U.S. to an offshore shell company is to launder that money, because then you can now declare that $1 million the travel agency took in the result of a bustling business instead of fraud.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, I have all this artwork in my home, and I just really like artwork. Yeah, I mean, they're really good on tax deductibles too, or deducting from your taxes and everything like that. Yeah, I just really like art, though. I'm just an art enjoyer.
That's my theory, but we have dozens of these invoices which seem to confirm it. And you might expect that this was the main way Trader's Domain moved large chunks of cash. But you'd be wrong, because in 2023, laundering money through banks is like communicating with smoke signals instead of text messages. No, the real way to launder money has changed. Today, it's crypto.
Yup.
So this brings us to
Daddy Bitcoin.
Option 2 of how to move money.
Here's the thing. Crypto is such an efficient way to launder money. There has never been something so groundbreaking in the scamapalooza world. Crypto, this is why crypto will never die, is because it generates so much income for people that want to do illegal things. So it'll never die. It will never die. It will go on. It might not be, whatever the fuck, crypto stands, moon boys want to say, as far as like, this will be the world currency, but it will be an underground currency for years to come until they create something that's more efficient at laundering money.
Crypto is the main way Trader's Domain moved money. It was perfect for them, and it was the main way they circumvented regulation.
Yeah.
Recall at the beginning.
Here's the thing. Scammers also want people to be involved in crypto because they have to create regulation around it that kind of screws the little guy out of the way. Obviously, and it muddies the water, right? Because the more regulation there is, it's harder for them. But the more people involved, the harder it is to create that regulation. Because you got your mom and pop person voting for Mr. President here, and they are going to lose their minds because they don't want to be taxed another dollar because they can't afford it. And that creates like the perfect opening for these scammers to be like, I mean, they said it. Yeah, I mean, they got money in crypto. We all do. It's just the way of the future now.
Beginning of this show, I told you that offshore companies couldn't solicit U.S.
So they're
investors,
milking this train until there's no
Traders
more
Domain
milk.
told people that up front. They said, quote, Traders Domain does not solicit U.S. clients. However, they would claim underneath that, quote, just to note, we have crypto accounts available, which is sort of like saying, hey, we don't let in U.S. clients through the front door, but just to note, we have a back door.
Correct.
Because when you went to their website to sign up, I kid you not, as country of origin, you could select your country as the country of crypto. Which, unsurprisingly, some people actually did.
One of the early things that felt weird to me is that you couldn't register as a U.S. citizen on his website.
Oh,
it was.
Oh, so you said, I'll just register as crypto.
Crypto. You had to go in as a crypto user. I can still show you on my account where I'm listed as a crypto user and not a U.S. citizen.
That is clearly illegal. But the reason it matters
That's
is
also
not that
the
they
most
circumvented
unbelievable
regulations.
thing
They do that all
ever.
the
Why
time.
would
It's
you
the
ever do
scale.
that ever?
This was all
as a
happening.
person.
This
Do you
wasn't
have
a few
dopamine
dollars.
flowing
This is
through your blood
hundreds.
as you sign up for these websites and are so excited about the return that any logical thought process falls out of your brain immediately? That's the only thing I can actually align this to. This is crazy.
It's of millions. I mean, a single one of their payment processors in crypto complained in a recent lawsuit that the founder believed that, quote, the Traders Domain is clearly a Ponzi scheme. They have moved over $50 million in cryptocurrency and U.S. currency directly to the Traders Domain systems. Not only that, a different payment processor also had their transaction data with Traders Domain leaked to us. With the help of a blockchain intelligence company called Crystal Blockchain, we traced even more money that had come in. According to them, roughly $450 million went into Traders Domain.
Holy
and that combined
shit!
with the $50 million from that other crypto payment processor is where we arrived to our
So the big
$500
money,
million
the big money's on the blockchain, is what he's saying. It's on that blockchain life. Holy shit! Because everybody signed up as country of origin crypto.
Bear in mind,
got it.
This is just crypto. This is not talking about fiat here, and this is real money that went in, not fake Ponzi gains. Yeah. And at this point in the investigation, I'm feeling pretty confident. We have two really big things. The first is that the scale of this thing is huge, probably bigger than even the government believes it is. Yeah. But I also feel extremely
and the
confident
government will find out eventually. They're gonna find out. It just takes a bit for them to catch up and really understand what's going on. But this is psychotic.
Fraud, and the only thing left to do is confront the man behind it all, Ted Safranco. And this is also the thing that I've been putting off doing the whole time, to be honest.
He's like, I don't want to do it.
The entire investigation, as I spoke to people, I was warned not to reach out because Ted was well known for going after anyone who went after his brokerage. He allegedly said things like...
Yeah, Ted is the, just for everybody to know, he's the mastermind. He's like the Dr. Evil from Austin Powers over this whole entire scam. He's insane.
Like, quote, you want to come after my brokerage.
Imagine giving that guy $1 million. I mean,
You have a death wish in messages, and I am going to put a bounty on your head. There are a lot more of these, and of course, he also
so he went straight to I'm going to kill you
video.
pretty much.
I'd take a flight to the UK right now and just fucking show up and curb stomp their heads. Yeah, I get arrested. So what? I win because they're dead.
So yeah.
Yeah, he wins because they're dead. Okay.
The guy is kind of a psycho. So
he's the wolf
very
of
nervous
Bitcoin
about
Street,
doing
baby.
this, and so I decided to go to the bar and get me a little bit of liquid courage.
Come on, Coffee. You've been sitting here for 2 hours.
I want to do something like that with a green screen.
Give me this one more shot, okay?
I want to make a little robot. I have a green screen. That'd be fun.
Here goes nothing. Come on, Ted.
I bet you he's not even gonna answer.
Answer the come on.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Please record your message.
Okay.
I knew it.
Went straight to voicemail, baby.
You want another drink?
Is he gonna answer? I don't know.
You humans
That
are
would be
such odd
crazy if he
creatures.
did, though.
You were nervous about calling, yet you seem upset he didn't
Here's the
answer.
thing. I think he will answer eventually. This guy has a massive ego, and that is always the downfall of these type of people is their ego. So
I was concerned. I mean, but once I was committed, I don't know. It just feels a little anticlimactic, I guess.
Maybe it's for the best. Not everything has a Hollywood ending. You do the best you can, and sometimes you have to enjoy a consolation prize.
What's that?
How about a drink with a friend?
Wait, I thought you couldn't drink.
Take the shot, Coffee.
All right.
I've been watching you hide.
Oh, he's got the hoodie on.
I just close my eyes. I've known for a while. My dear, if you keep pulling that thread, I'll unravel in your head.
Oh, I didn't know it was a phone.
Hello?
Before we continue, obviously I've spoken to my counsel. We know about your YouTube channel now.
He got him. He got him on the phone. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this next freaking video from him. Holy shit. I cannot believe that guy answered. I told you, the ego on this guy, the ego on this guy.
We reviewed it.
What he should have done is nothing. He should have not reached out at all. You know when the cops say you have the right to remain silent? Remain silent, you know? And he is...
I mean, there's really nothing of substance on there, to be honest. I think it's more of a glorified clickbait channel.
I'm in chats right now on Telegram. He's still in there actively saying that he's trading.
You can think anything you want. You can turn around and say that I am...
You can hear it. He's getting so upset because he knows somebody's on to him.
Gaming the system. I'm gaming my followers.
That is such a chicken response from a total coward. No accountability at all.
I'm the enemy of the state for most people because of what I do and how I do it.
Nobody knows anything about his wife because they don't have the resources that I have. My resources can find out every little thing about you.
Egotistical maniacs.
You will see
they're
the
all
amount
the same.
of destruction I leave.
The amount of destruction bro, this guy he's like fucking Ganondorf from Zelda, okay? He thinks he's the fucking big bad or something. This is crazy. He got some money under his belt, and now that he scammed out of, now he thinks he's got this god complex. That's crazy. Motherfucker is Thanos. That's how he feels right now. I will. Oh, what does this say? Oh, this is the B2B broker. Ask for comment. Here's their response. We fully support individuals who are fighting against scams, any illegal or unethical schemes. As soon as we became aware of the negative information concerning traders' domain, we conducted a comprehensive internal compliance check and promptly terminated our agreements with them. So this is that the B broker that they switched to. That's the service we discussed. So that's really good. They put this out. At least they acknowledged, like, hey, like, this is kind of fucked up. We want out. Maybe they just did that for their own safety, which would also be smart either way. I do think they should vet their sources better, but that's definitely a W for them, that they're out of this psycho mess. I wonder what they're going to do now, though, if they're still actively trading. Now that, do they just move to the next B broker, or I don't know. Unreal. Amazing video. This guy's amazing. CoffeeZilla here. Let me go ahead and link it. There we go. Check him out. Yeah, but that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Cannot wait for the next one. So.